Good evening, everybody. My name is Patrick Barrett, and I work in the Research Division in the Department of Agriculture, Food and Marine. And we are the co-leads department, along with the Department of Environment and Climate, for the bioeconomy policy in Ireland. And this task was handed to us through the National Policy Statement on the Bioeconomy, which was originally prepared by the Department of the Taoiseach in conjunction with all relevant departments and agencies and stakeholders in Ireland, including the BioEra project. So just to give you a very short overview of the different phases that the bioeconomy has been going through in Ireland. So I won't go into much detail, but just to say it started with the EU bioeconomy strategy in 2012 and had this kind of starting phase that saw significant investment by the Irish government in the SFI Bioeconomy Research Centre, and it saw the launch of the National Policy Statement in 2018. Since then, we've largely been in a building phase, and this has included many significant developments, reporting to government, the development of the National Bioeconomy Forum, the development of, for example, groups like the CERT Bio Group, significant projects like the Bioorbic, Carberry, MTU, Farm Zero C flagship project. And then more laterally, you can see in Food Vision 2030, the Climate Action Plan, and the whole of government circular economy strategy, bioeconomy being embedded within this. And more laterally, and what I'll speak about today is how we're developing towards a bioeconomy action plan for 2023, with the idea to having stepped away from the starting phase and in this building phase to really moving in to what we term now mobilization phase. Sorry. It's hard to move on. So just to say, and not to go into too much detail, but the EU has a bioeconomy strategy which underpins national developments, and they reported on, this came into play in 2012 and was updated in 2018 to take into account many different developments such as the Paris Agreement on Climate and the Sustainable Development Goals. And this progress report highlighted significant progress in bioeconomy development, including increasing number of national and regional bioeconomy strategies, and significant development around technologies for sustainable and circular bio-based value chains. But as we all may understand, the bioeconomy is not by default sustainable or circular, and a lot of the developments around bioeconomy is about embedding these ideas within the bioeconomy, and also looking at innovation opportunities and higher value added. So there's still gaps and future action required on ensuring the bioeconomy doesn't place pressure on the ecosystem, land and sea. It actually aids or enables a better management of land and sea and biomass demands, and makes sure that consumption patterns are sustainable, and that production and consumption is in tandem with circular economy and with climate action and environmental and ecosystem integrity, as well as serving society socially and economically. So within the Irish policy statement, the main overarching vision is to develop Ireland as a global leader. This is often said within policy statements, but really what we're driving towards to try and aim towards developing a positive approach for Irish society is this a coordinated approach across government, with our agencies, with our stakeholders, and for society and for business, and to really look at the synergies and trade-offs within this, and really to monitor what we're doing and to try and avoid unintended consequences, building on the advantages that we have with our soils, with our oceans, with our industries, and with, I suppose, the knowledge base that's within Ireland. So really we're seeking to, I suppose, move beyond maybe where some sectors are looking at targets around carbon mitigation, to really integrating and using bioeconomy as an enabler for integrating sustainable economic development. And from 2018 onwards, there was a real significant focus and day-to-day, I suppose, attention paid by government to three main pillars of the bioeconomy: research, innovation and skills, markets and competitiveness, and reinforce policy coordination and stakeholder engagement. And I suppose what we could probably say, and we've reported to government on it, which I'll mention in a minute, is we've probably achieved a good degree in some of those pillars, and some have been a bit slower. So these are the areas we work on day to day, ensuring we're working well across government. We have put a bioeconomy forum in place. We have an Irish Bioeconomy network. We work a lot on translating research into real world applications. We look at progressing leading value chain propositions through funding opportunities. We look at, really explaining to the primary producer and the public and the consumer what the bioeconomy is and how its products can be beneficial for society, environment, climate, and socially. We probably have a significant amount of work to do in relation to regulatory aspects, but really the development of a Circular Economy Act and the Circular Economy Strategy will really benefit us for this. So just to outline to you progress that we have made between 2020 and 2022, after our report to our first progress report to government in 2019, is we largely can say that we have had undertaken these structuring activities where we have this cross-government group, we have this form of consultative structures, and we have seen existing initiatives and partnerships really grow and develop and go through phased development. What we can see as well is that we've made significant investments in research infrastructure, and we have succeeded in developing diffusion and sharing of knowledge opportunities. So we hope that there will be publications in the next couple of weeks around our second progress report and our Bioeconomy Forum report. It's just going through the processes to bring it to Cabinet, and we're just waiting to see if we can sneak onto the agenda before Christmas. But basically, just to give you a kind of an outline of progress we've made in terms of structuring, we can see that there has been a report on the economic impact of the bioeconomy. This was made in 2015, led by Cathal O'Donoghue, and it aligns how bioeconomy across agriculture, food, forestry, and marine, its contribution to the economy. However, what we really need to do in our next phase of reporting on the bioeconomy, describing its size, its value, etc., is really to look at an integrated approach to modelling, to develop figures that's not just on value, but it's around its climate impact, its environmental impact, social value, and benefit to society. We have succeeded, I think, quite well in ensuring bioeconomy is placed well within sectoral and different policy developments. I only saw yesterday it was bioeconomy is included in the white paper on enterprise. So that's a sort of an ongoing process, but it's very helpful in leading to people to examine and understand the bioeconomy. As I said, we have our cross-government group, we have our stakeholder consultative structure in place, and really this has really driven interest from industry in developing their outlook on the bioeconomy. We also have seen a lot of initiatives, organizations, research centers, clusters, platforms, research groups, innovation centers, and different groups really reach out with the bioeconomy to many stakeholders. And this is really, really useful because it's really getting that knowledge from industry and from societal groups, either interested in rural development or regional development or sectoral interests such as representative groups, to have their say on the bioeconomy and looking to develop ideas and really, giving it that cutting commercial edge, which is so vital and important and a very important prism to work through. We've also seen very interesting strategic education, research and innovation and infrastructure investments. So we see, again, a very good progress now being made by the Irish Bioeconomy Foundation to develop a pilot biorefinery facility in Lachine in County Tipperary. And this will be a key enabling infrastructure to develop the bioeconomy. But we see groups like the Munster Technological University and the CERC Bio Group developing the postgraduate diploma in bioeconomy with business. So this is really reaching back to the education system and allowing the training up of people to develop bioeconomy opportunities within the organizations they work within. On diffusion of knowledge, like we have seen CAP funding being used to develop operational bioeconomy opportunities, such as the one James Gaffey works on, had been working on for the biorefinery loss project. and which is being integrated into the Farm Zero C project. But we see in the upcoming years, for example, the Seafood Development Programme and the CAP strategic plan, again looking to allow funding for bioeconomy demonstration initiatives through either, for example, EIP Agri or Leader in the CAP case, and in the FAF Seafood Development Programme under demonstration type activities. We on an ongoing basis raise awareness about the bioeconomy. We have a Bioeconomy Ireland Week that's held every October. We develop different tools such as a bioeconomy mapping project, which is available to explain bioeconomy to the public and to people who want to just have a general overview interest in what the bioeconomy is without going into too much technical or scientific detail. And we're very interested in engaging with all sorts of groups to participate in Bioeconomy Week. And you can see our tagline for this year was All Voices Together. And that's what we really mean. And that's why the cooperative approach, as will be discussed today, is so important. As well as in terms of policy development, monitoring and evaluation. We funded a project led again by James Gaffey, who's on the call tonight, called Inform Bio, which is looking at a whole range of pieces of information, data around bioresources. It's going to look at foresight and feedstock analysis. It's going to look at developing a monitoring system and really thinking about how we can explain with stakeholders how the bioeconomy could be beneficial for the type of 2050 targets that we're hoping to reach. And of course, Ireland is a small country, so in terms of bioeconomy policy development, we look elsewhere, we look to collaborate, we look to work with our colleagues on the island of Ireland on an east-west basis within the EU and internationally. And there are many different networks and funding opportunities and organizations that are helping to facilitate that. So just to kind of say where we are today is that we are looking to develop a short-term bioeconomy action plan as we seek to move to this mobilization phase. And there's a public consultation open on this action plan currently, and it'll close on the 27th of January. And as I said, we're outlining to you today that we consider that there's a number of bioeconomy actions that were handed to us in the policy statement that are on track and are structuring bioeconomy development. But we need to further mobilize actions. And by that, we need to invest in the bioeconomy, and we need to look at how the bioeconomy can make a difference in rural and regional and urban areas. So we have designed the action plan around 7 pillars. And the idea is that we increase our engagement across government on these, we increase our engagement with industry in these areas, and we deliver a bioeconomy that's suitable for the type of society that Ireland is looking to be in 2030 and 2050. So thanks very much, Tracy, for the invitation this evening, and happy to take questions if there is any.